Hi everyone! Welcome to Storytime with the New Westminster Public Library. We're going to start today with our reading tip for grown-ups. And today's tip is to read in any language. So when you read together with your child, it's okay to read in the language that you are most comfortable in. It doesn't have to be English. And don't worry, hearing more than one language growing up will not confuse children or stunt their language development in any way. In fact, it can be quite helpful. Today, our story time is going to be about being small and how being small is not always a bad thing. We're going to start by standing up and doing a big stretch. We're going to be big and we're going to be small. First, we're going to stretch up tall as a tree. Oh, like a really big, tall tree. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then we're going to stretch out wide as a house. Oh, like a big, wide house. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And now we're going to get small. We're going to squish ourselves as skinny as a pole, as small as you can. And then we're going to be tiny as a mouse. So get down on the floor and curl up as tiny as you can, tiny as a mouse. One more time, stretch up tall as a tree and wide as a house, and then skinny as a pole and tiny as a mouse. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Now that we've done a nice big stretch, we're ready for a story. Our book today is called Claudette by Tom Lichtenheld, and this is a book about a tiny, tiny little cloud. And she wants to do something very, very big. But what can a little cloud do? Let's find out. This is Claudette. Claudette was a cloud, a very small cloud. Usually, Claudette didn't mind being smaller than the average cloud. Everyone called her cute little names. Hi, Pipsqueak. Hey, Shortcake. She had lots of little friends, and no matter how crowded it was, she could always find a good spot to watch fireworks. She could sneak through tight spaces, hide in small places, and she even had a special little space that always made her feel cozy at night. But once in a while, all the other clouds would run off to do something big and important. They're saying, "Come on, Claudette, join our cold front. We're going to make a huge storm. Yeah, we're going to water some crops and make some mighty rivers flow." But Claudette says, no thanks. I'll just watch from here. Claudette would see them in the distance doing all sorts of important cloud things. This made her want to do big and important things too. She wanted to make a garden grow. She wanted to make a brook babble. She wanted to make a waterfall fall. And she thought nothing would be more fun than giving some kids a day off from school. One night, Claudette lay awake wondering what she could do that was big and important. She thought maybe she could work for the fire department, or maybe they needed some help down at the garden center. But everyone's saying no. No, they don't need her. But nobody seemed to need her. Claudette was feeling blue. Oh, she looks sad. The next day, there was a big storm in Claudette's neighborhood. The sky got dark, the rain came down like cats and dogs, and the wind blew harder than she'd ever seen wind blow before. Oh no. When the storm finally stopped, Claudette realized she'd been blown far from her neighborhood. She didn't know anyone here, and they didn't seem eager to get to know her. Oh, I think she's trying to say hello to the little smoke puffs. But pretty soon, she was making new friends and seeing things she'd never seen before. And then she heard something she'd never heard before. It was a ribbit, ribbit. What kind of animal makes that sound? Ribbit. She looked down at what was supposed to be a pond, but was really just a puddle of mud. Oh, and you can see the frog there. "What happened to your pond, Froggy?" she said. "It dried up, and now it's more like a puddle than a pond." This gave Claudette an idea. She held her breath until she started to puff up all over. Then she turned a nice blue-gray color. She kept growing until it looked like she was ready to burst. She shook her behind until it made a little rumbling sound. Not quite what you'd call thunder, but enough to let people know they might want to grab an umbrella. Oh, she's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then, well, we got to turn the page over like this. And then she let it pour. Ooh, look at all the rain she's making. Here we go. Claudette rained on the little puddle until it grew into a big puddle. And she kept on raining until that big puddle grew into a perfect pond. And as soon as she stopped, frogs of every stripe and spot came jumping into the pond. They all let out a big thank you in unison. Ribbit, which is frog for thank you. Claudette was exhausted, but happy. Even the higher-ups were impressed. The other clouds are all complimenting her. And that got her thinking, I'll bet there are other things, other big and important things a little cloud can do. And off she went. The end. And on the page that says the end, what's she doing? She's raining and making a little pond for people to swim in. Oh, that's something a little cloud can do. And that is Claudette. Now we are going to tell a really short story together. And this is a rhyme about an animal that Claudette might have helped with that pond. An animal that lives in the water and swims around. It's not a fish, it's a little turtle. Yeah, turtles need water too. And this rhyme is about a little turtle, and it goes like this. I had a little turtle, his name was Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the water, and he ate up all the soap. Nom 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 nom. And when he woke up in the morning, he had bubbles in his throat, and he went hick, 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 hick. It's very short. And you can do this rhyme on your own. You don't need to have a frog or you don't need to have a turtle of your own. You can do this rhyme with your hands. So get out your hands. This is going to be your little turtle. I had a little turtle. His name was Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the water, and he ate up all the soap. And when he woke up in the morning, he had bubbles in his throat, and he went hick, 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 hick. There you go. So those are all of our stories for today. We'll see you next week. Bye!